What did I miss?
We've just been talking. Well, the other groundsman has joined us for dinner. The Mr. Hart. He seems a bit suspicious. He doesn't seem to have any signs of like dirt about him that would suggest he does kind of groundsman type things.
That's not good.
He seems fairly cordial, though. We're just in conversation with him, and if you've got anything that you'd like to ask him, this is probably a good time for it.
Maybe about the priest is probably the best part, because if he could be one of the cultists or in the cult, yeah.
Probably as well to approach the subject very delicately. We don't want to alert them before they, I imagine getting through the night is probably going to be the bit that we're most concerned about, so I don't know that we want to tip them off to anything just before we might come up against something the way we did last time.
Maybe say something like, "Are you a churchman?" or something like that. Maybe kind of put that in there.
Could ask if they have a chapel. Yeah, we could ask if they have like a chapel in the island or anything. Could mention as well that we saw the ruined church. So.
Yeah. Do we have a plan for if, things don't go the way they should?
Shotgun.
Probably get to the boat.
Shotgun on the way to the boat.
Yeah.
I did think it was funny when he asked if, oh yeah, you were supporting the British side, weren't you? And it was just like, oh boy.
Yeah, imagine that. I was like, oh, yes.
Yeah, it's just like, yep, whatever.
Conversation took a turn.
Just like I twitch.
Okay, everyone here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, so is there anything else you want to say to Dinner, Mildred?
Oh, are you a churchman?
To Isaac, yeah.
Yep.
Oh yes, and he kind of stops himself for a second. I used to go to church with my parents, yes. I haven't been in a little while. Been here and away from the mainland.
Oh, that's very nice. You look very smart today. As in, you have a very nice suit on.
Yes, well, I try to keep clean.
Well, you know what they say, is it, about godliness, cleanliness is godliness, so...
Quite, yes. What about yourself, Mrs. Potts? Are you a churchly woman?
Well, not really. I would say I'm more of a... I'm quite pragmatic that way, quite a practical person.
But you're interested in others' religions.
Well,
Mrs. Potts is a keen scholar of the humanities.
Oh, is that quite true?
Yes.
A scholar. So you would have been looking at his lordship's books, I guess.
I think like I was just looking at the whole paintings. I'm interested in paintwork. Paintings are
Oh, so you
yeah.
have an expansive sort of area of interest. Mrs. McCrinnon's
Yes.
giving him like a scolding look when he mentioned the books.
I like history. I like these sort of castles that are enriched with portraits and historical artifacts.
Oh well, I mean, there's not much history of this castle. This castle didn't exist before the turn of the century. He only finished it in 1906. Isn't that right, Mrs. McCrinnon? And she nods. Yes. And then he kind of continues. Aye, before his lordship bought the island, that is, his lordship's father, this island had a healthy population. And then the clearances came, and that's when they shipped most of them out. I mean, until then, there was a lot, and even still after, there was a lot of good people living here. And then his lordship bought the island. And Miss McCrinnon's giving him another scolding look.
Mr. Brody was showing us the village down, the ruined village down at the other side of the island, Kilmoria, I believe he said it was. It was a very interesting place to visit. Has that been has that been abandoned for a long time? I would have thought it seemed to date further back than the clearances.
Yeah, Kilmori's a very old settlement here in the island. There's actually quite a few. At the peak, the island had close to 400 people, I believe. There's also ones down at Papadil and Diadil. And then up in Bloodstone Hill, that was a settlement as well. Aye, there was a lot more reason for people to be here before his good lordship bought the place and tried to turn it into a game reserve. Mrs. McCrimmon, you can tell, is very annoyed by this discussion. And she starts cleaning her hand. Well, I think I've had all I need for tonight. If you excuse me, lady, gentlemen. Charlie's sitting there just stuffing his face full of pie. Isaac looks over to you, he's like, don't mind her, she's an old busybody.
So what did you do before you worked here?
Oh, I'm a groundskeeper. I've worked as a groundskeeper for a number of years. I was down in Cumbria.
What took you to the island?
I heard there was a job going and I took the vacancy. I've always fancied the islands. I like the sea.
Are you a married man?
No, I'm not.
You
But
look
someday.
You look relatively young. Do you not feel like island life, for a man your age, that you should be going to the city to find yourself a nice woman?
That's a little personal considering we just met, but I don't intend to stay here, Mrs. Potts. That's just a temporary position.
So are you quite a family man? Do you think you'll have children?
Oh,
as
definitely,
well?
yes. I'd definitely like to settle down someday. Is there anything you want to say, Keen?
Not really. He's just sort of watching Mildred, trying to make sure that she doesn't say anything too crazy, although she is riding that line.
So, I mean, the rest of the meal is just sort of small talk. He's wrap up. Isaac says, right, well, I've got some duties I need to do before I can settle down for the evening. It is lovely meeting you all. Maybe I'll speak to you later.
Of course, thank you.
Charlie, like, kind of burps and he sits back. He's, like, stuffed full of food. He's like, ah, that was lovely.
You've had a busy time of it today yourself, Mr. Lewis. You must have been ready for that.
So it's just a long day here, especially when you're working on your own, you know.
Could they not bring on someone to help you? I mean, have they not? Have they struggled to get someone else to fill the duties here?
Oh, there was a stable hand when I got here, an older man called Duncan, but he left apparently, just up and went one day. I mean, I like Duncan. He was a nice man. He was good to me. But I mean, now that he's gone, it means I get paid more.
What do you do in the evenings for fun? Do you have like?
He's like, oh, I'm too tired even to do much, to be honest, ma'am. But yeah, it's a little dull here. I'll get the ferry back to the mainland sometimes. Go down to Glasgow maybe at the weekend, if they don't need me here.
Has his lordship ever visited while you've been working here at all?
Well, I've only been here, you know, since the start of last winter there. I haven't seen him though. I don't think Mrs. McCrown says he's not been here for a few years. And I honestly, I quite like it that way. He lets out a big yawn and stretches. It's like, right, well, I'm going to turn in for the evening. I'll see you in the morning.
Of course, have a good night.
It's about 8 o'clock by this time. Mr. Brody is still not appeared.
Should we have a look at the world room, perhaps, just briefly before we try to turn in for the night?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's just also try to stay together as much as possible.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so the world room, I believe, is this main room in the picture here. It had a lot more stuff in the day. So there's artifacts from all over the world. There's things you would identify as African, Indian, Chinese, Japanese. You know, just sort of indigenous cultures all over the world that Britain happens to have invaded at one point or another. And he's like sent back artifacts from each of these, all different like eras, and they've just been stored here. There's no like sense to the collection; it's just haphazardly stuck in here. You know, they've stuck things that look vaguely similar together at one end of the room.
Is there any... Sorry, go on.
No, you go first.
I was just going to say, can we recognise if there's anything that resembles the style of the stone, anything with a similar style of inscription on it?
Why don't you roll 1 dice for me?
Sure.
There's nothing with the cuneiform language. There's nothing that looks to be made of the same material. There are stone artifacts, there's like fertility statues and things like that. But that's as close as you can get to it.
The fertility like fertility statues, and is there anything with like encryption on it?
No, none of them have any writing on them, but they're just basically stone penises or stone pregnant women.
Okay. Can I roll for spot hidden?
I'm sure. 2 dice. There's nothing like hidden or particularly interesting in amongst the stuff here. There are, of course, many other rooms in the castle. Keen, what would you like to do?
I don't know, really. Yeah, I'm at a loss here.
Sure. So are you okay going on for like another bit? Because this is kind of how long we've usually ran the session for.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm perfectly prepared to just see through to the end because there isn't a huge amount in there.
What do you guys think?
I'm fine going on or doing whatever.
Yeah, I'm fine
Okay,
with
cool.
that as well.
So you have your room set aside for you. You each have your own room with your giant four-poster bed, mirror, ensuite bathroom, a bath like the works. It's very elegant, luxurious. Do you want to look around anywhere else in the house though? Because you do have free reign.
I think we should go back to the library again. I think, me and Keen just make sure our rooms look as if they're being slept in, as in the pillows and stuff. And we just take.
Well, nobody's slept in them for quite some time. This is like new bedding that clearly Mrs. McCrin has hastily put out for you.
Yeah, but we just make sure that it looks as if someone's sleeping there.
Oh, you mean like use the pillows to make it like someone's in the bed?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. That's no problem at all.
I think we should go to the library and have a look at those books again.
Okay.
I'm keen to look at the Watcher one again.
Get rid of this portrait.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. I suppose I'll look at the Revelations of Glocky. Glocky.
I start reading the text. Do I notice anything?
The Watcher one.
Yes.
So, commune with the Dark Stars is a ritual, and it seems the intention is to speak to a higher power, a deity of great power. It's something that it says inhabits the void beyond our system. And there's lots of talk about planets and astrology and how the universe is composed.
Is there any vital information, like ritual information?
Yeah, you need to cast the ritual on a moonless night within the stone circle, and it gives the markings.
Is there any other? Do I see anything that looks like that? Like that sort of circle that
so
we saw?
now that you've seen the pattern out on the moors, it matches almost exactly the pattern that is in this book.
Kian, Finley, come over here. Look at this.
Okay.
Do you notice something about when we were at the mausoleum, when we went up that hill?
Yeah, that's all the strangeness that was scrawled all over the ground.
Can I roll 2d6 for cryptography? Because I'm sure that would be on the
symbols, you mean?
Yeah.
Sure. So these relate to astrological symbols, alignment of the planets. And there are some there that are similar, but they're definitely not for the planets that we know of in our solar system.
Some of these planets on here are not from our world.
So what world would they be from then?
I have no idea, but it's a bit strange.
I wonder who must be doing this. If his lordship hasn't been here in several years, then this all seems awfully recent to have been his doing.
What did you think of the smart-looking guy that came? You know, the Isaac person.
Mr. Hart, difficult to say. He definitely doesn't seem like he fits here. There's something not quite right about him, but whether he's necessarily part of what we're dealing with, I'm not entirely sure.
The other woman, the cook, she seemed rather annoyed with how much he would talk, especially about things that didn't really seem strange to talk about.
Yes, there's definitely animosity between the two of them, but I don't know whether it's just that she feels he's speaking out of turn to their guests, or whether she's trying to keep something from us. I don't know.
Do you think she's part of the cult? I feel like when they see maids are leaving and people are disappearing and she's still there, it kind of, you know.
You might have a point. I wouldn't have necessarily suspected her otherwise, but you might have a point.
Well, what else does this whole ritual nonsense require? Does it do you need to say something? Do you need to do something?
Yes, it has a section which is the chant that must be chanted in the right location.
Does it say anything about sacrifices or?
No, it does not mention sacrifice. It does mention hunger and feeding to appease.
Guys, it says about hunger and feeding, and she fed us. So.
I mean, Charlie had a big appetite as well at dinner, but I don't know that it's necessarily anything suspicious. But it makes me think back to that page that we found in the fireplace. That seemed to reference feeding and hunger as well.
I think
Do you think this is a sign that perhaps someone tried to carry out the ritual and it didn't go according to plan?
it could be, but I feel like this part of this sort of scripture, like the chant part of the scripture, I feel like, is this safe? Should this be in this book? Are they going to come for this book and then read from the book? These chants, maybe we should tear these pages out.
Where's your dog just now, Keen?
Oh, don't do this to me again. As reasonably as possible, I would have kept Bruce as close as I
Okay,
could.
I see quite well behaved, he's comfortable being indoors.
Oh, okay, good.
I was asking, is he though?
Sorry, what?
Is he quite a well-behaved dog? Is he perfectly happy being indoors?
Yeah. No, he's like I said, he's usually well behaved. Like he normally just stays right there and doesn't really bark a whole lot, except for obviously when he wants to bark. But yeah, for the most part, he's well behaved.
When you're in this library having this discussion, he does like move as if something's got his attention, and then he lets out a bark towards the hallway.
Okay, Kian will definitely take notice of that. Hold on to his leash a little tight, and then open the door and take a look out the hallway.
Just to say that we've all got our shotguns at this point. We're
You're
just
walking
always...
around the house with your shotguns, really?
Yes. Yes.
I, as much as I would like that, I don't think that'd be very reasonable.
Yeah, I think we might struggle to find an excuse to do it.
Ah, yes, this is my seeing eye shotgun. Don't mind me.
Do you want to roll a dice for me, Keen?
Oh, fuck. Woo!
You very definitely saw Isaac Hart at the end of that corridor, just nipping around the corner of it as you stuck your head out.
Immediately, Kian will turn around to Finley and Mildred and say, "It's that fucking Isaac guy. He was just around the corner."
Okay, I think we should...
I feel we should confront him.
She says, holding the shotgun.
I think we should try to avoid arousing suspicion for now. I think probably our best bet is to try and just, if we can get through the night and then just leave in the morning. I think we've probably got enough evidence that we need to tell us that his lordship has a strong hand in this, and I think perhaps we should go back to civilization and, you know, look for some reinforcements. We should perhaps wait until we can bring Paul back with us, and if there's going to be any major confrontation.
I very much agree.
I think we should hide the book so that they don't have the chant if they come in, and then...
Do you have... I mean, I think that, you know, removing the page or might be obvious, but do you have a pen or something that we could use to alter it just subtly so that if they try to chant it, they might get it wrong?
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
So there is a... not in this room, but there would be a writing desk in the study.
I kind of feel like Mildred would always have a pen on her. Like, you know, because she's always noting down things.
She'd have a pencil, yes. You wouldn't have a pen, because think about the time period. A pen would be something like at the writing desk. And Finlay, you know, given your occupation, you would know that.
Just out of curiosity, whenever I peeked outside, which corner of the hall did I see Isaac go down? Like the one towards the main hall or towards the business room?
Towards business room.
Okay.
Business room obviously would have desks and pens and stuff like that as well.
What's the nearest room that's going to have a pen that we don't have to go so far?
You're in the library, it would be the business room because it's just down the hall. You just go out into the conservatory and then onto the business room. Oh no, sorry, you don't need to just go down the corridor.
Yeah, he went around the corner, so he's not in the business room.
No, he would have gone up the stairwell there that you can see.
Oh, that corner. Okay,
Yes.
okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go into the business room and get the pen and slightly change it.
Whatever we do, let's just get it done quick.
Okay, so you walk out, and are you doing this hurriedly, or are you creeping, or what?
I think we should
Probably,
try to do it surreptitiously, yeah.
yeah.
So you just make your way along there. Your dog kind of sniffs keen, but he's not barking, so nobody's like in the immediate vicinity of you. As you're kind of looking up the big stairwell as you go past.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
So you go into the business room. Business room is piled with papers. There's stacks of books neatly arranged. There's lots of pens. There's a writing desk. Yes, there's a lot of stuff in here.
Being as I have the experience of altering documents, perhaps I should try to make changes to the book if everyone else could keep watch while I'm working.
Yeah, that seems good.
Do you guys want to have a nosy around the room while you are in here?
Yeah, I'll do that.
So you give me 2 dice, pick highest. So you find a bunch of financial ledgers about not just the current lordship's finances, that's George Bullow, but also about his father, John Bullow, who had the place before him. Well, who owned the island before him.
Anything else?
There's a bunch of receipts.
Do I read through the receipts? Is there anything
You can spend
that
your time
stands
doing
out?
that, yes. Finley, do you want to give me your 2 dice roll for either forgery?
Sure.
Yes, it's not your best work, but it's adequate enough.
Yeah, it might buy us some time.
Do you want to have a look around here as well, Keen?
Yeah, I suppose I could have a quick look around. My main priority is just watching the door, but yeah, I can look around a little.
Yours will be 2 dice in the worst. Because you're not the brightest lad.
Oof.
So while Mildred's got these finance ledgers and she's able to tell that the Lord is doing very well financially. His father was super rich and his investments are only continuing to pay off for his son. You're able to find something which looks a little odd to you, and it's the receipt made out to the Church of Contemplation in Edinburgh.
Guys, there's a receipt for the
Well,
church.
Keen's one who finds the receipt.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, I was just double checking to make sure that wasn't the same church I worked at. Okay.
No, this is I mean, you know the big churches in Edinburgh. This isn't any of them.
And it's a significant amount, or
It's a substantial payment, several £100s, and it was paid annually from 1890, which was the year before John Bullow died, up until 1911.
does anybody happen to know what the Church of Contemplation is? According to this bit, he's made like some very substantial donations, payments, annually to the place, but I've never heard of it.
I think they're heavily involved in this in some way. They perhaps might be behind a cult of some sort.
I I can hear creaking.
Okay, that is a very ominous thing to say.
I think we should probably try and make our way back to. Well, I guess we return the book to the library and then get back to our bedrooms as soon as possible.
Yeah, well, we'll all be in the one bedroom.
Sure. So you are all staying in one bedroom.
Yeah, I guess so.
So who's got the bed and who's on the floor? There'll be a couch in there as well.
I'm fine with the couch, so if anyone wants the bed.
I think being a man of manners, I would insist that you take the bed, being the only lady that's here.
And then
Okay.
all just settling down for the night.
Well,
I think... Sorry, go ahead.
Well,
should we take turns to watch for anything suspicious?
yes.
That's a better idea than I was gonna have. I was just gonna say Keane's gonna prop himself up like against the door. But that works better.
I think we should also, just in case, this does pass uneventfully, we should also try to, get back to our own rooms early on so that, if everything is all right in the morning, then we can just emerge from our own rooms as if it was all perfectly normal.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
So who's going to sleep?
It doesn't matter to me.
You don't need to be nervous every time I ask.
I can take first watch.
Great.
How brave of you, Mildred.
Yeah, well, I'm just sitting on the bed with the with the shotgun at the door.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Just Mrs. Crin just comes in to check that everything's all right, and gets a shotgun shell in her face.
She's either gonna shoot the staff or she's gonna shoot one of us on her way out.
Then again, I say second thoughts, and I just look at Finlay to take first watch because I just think, yeah, maybe it might be best that way.
Okay, I'll take the first watch then, guys.
Okay. So Mildred and Keane are going to sleep.
Yes.
With our shotguns next to us.
You both nod off, and you find yourselves in your dream standing on a large, black, ashen desert, dimly illuminated by a distant red sun. You feel as if, it's cold, it's empty, it's lifeless, apart from a smattering of strange, translucent crystals which pepper the landscape. And the crystals start to vibrate and hum, and a strange tingling that sets the nerves of your teeth on edge. You look up into the sky, and it has an extremely thin atmosphere of orange sort of clouds, and looming above it, stretching as far as the horizon, is something huge and black, and with a sense of life about it. The way it moves is unnatural and unnerving, but certainly shows that it's alive. The sounds of the crystals turns into almost like they're singing, and you feel as if you're tiny and small and insignificant. You're reminded of plankton microbes in the ocean, this vast dark void of an ocean, and you can only imagine what it feels like to be such a small and tiny, insignificant creature. When something like a whale swims past you in the waters, and as you're looking up, that's exactly how you feel at this moment. And you realise that the crystals aren't just vibrating, they're not just singing, but they are chanting, they are calling out to this whale of the universe, which is deemed them worthy for just the merest glance of itself. And then you both wake up cold and shivering and covered in sweat. Can you both take roll intelligence?
To take the lowest,
Two
right?
lowest for you, two highest for Mildred. Okay, so you both
Oh my god!
you both take 1 stress just from the experience.
Oh fuck.
Freeze up for a moment in terror.
Are you both alright?
I'm gonna take B and just feel anxious and resist taking an action or make a mistake.
Mm-hmm. You fumble around the edge of the bed. You knock your shotgun over. It doesn't go off, obviously, because you're not left it loaded.
Yeah, I'm not stupid and don't have it cocked.
It clumps and makes a noise, and because the night's been so quiet, Finlay, that just sounds really loud to you all of a sudden.
Sorry. Weird dream.
It's alright. It's alright.
I think the moment is gone, so yeah, I was just like, that was scary. So
And again, just for clarification, we didn't see each other in the dream, right?
No,
it was
you were
just our own
standing
self.
alone, yes.
Oh, okay.
it was very another planet, wasn't it? It was very, there was like crystals chanting the words of that book.
Hearing her describe her dream and realizing that it's the exact same as mine, yeah, that's when Kian's like really starting to feel shaky and nervous. Right, who's taking the next watch?
I think I'll take the next watch.
Yeah, probably for the best.
Kian, you lie down, go back to sleep. Finlay, you lay down, your eyes closed. At last, you're able to get some rest. Finlay, you find yourself in the same landscape, the same coldness, the same dim red light, the same lifelessness of the train around you. The same feeling of small insignificance in this huge looming life form above you, gazing down on you hungrily. And you turn to your left, and Cian is standing by your side. And Cian Finlay's to your right.
Oh, fuck me, man. I just said it.
Finlay, you reach out and you touch and you can feel Cian.
Can I feel that they're sweating or anything? Can I try and wake them up?
They're both lying in bed with their teeth gritted and their eyes open. And they're just staring up at the ceiling.
I tried to shake them.
You shake the Mildred and you have a flash of the same image in your mind's eye. Just for a moment before they both wake up.
Oh my god.
Did you all see that?
Yes. And I think we should not fall asleep. I think we should just be like,
It's a
all of
sound
us
from
stay up.
outside of like a shutter and a rattle of metal.
Do we know what time it is?
It's well into the night. It's like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
It's always the 1 or 2 in the morning, isn't it?
You look outside and it starts to rain.
Where exactly was the sound of metal and shutter coming from?
Out.
Was it like the window or the door?
It was like from outside. It must have been a door or a window. But the metal kind of rattle. It's a little strange.
I think we should see the sofa. I think we should put the sofa to the door again, like we did the last time.
Might be a good idea.
Sure, you can easily push the sofa up against the door.
Is there any other furniture in there that
Oh
we
yeah,
can
there's
like push?
chairs, tables, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
The dresser.
Let's kind of have
We
quite a
start
build
moving all
up.
the furniture around.
I think if we leave it at the sofa for now, just something that we can move quietly, and then if we know that something's coming, we can always add to it.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Keen, do you want to stick your head out the window and see if you can see what made the noise?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, give me a roll. Two dice. Oh.
Oh, now I roll good. All right, cool, grand.
Yes, so you can definitely see, because your sort of awareness of like the physical world, you might not be the smartest when it comes to books and reading and all that guff, but when it comes to like noticing what's happening, you know your shit. And you can tell that it was happening down to the right of you towards the service entrance. The servant's entrance. You look down there and you can see like a door flapping, and you know from experience with some of the handyman jobs you've done, that is the door to like a coal chute. Which is where you would load the coal in to just bung it downstairs into the cellar.
And it's just flapping in the wind.
Well, it's not really windy, but it's definitely flapping. Or flapped.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll kind of whisper to the others, like the coal chutes, open.
Is it supposed to be open?
No, especially now with it's raining, it's supposed to be shut.
Did we hear anything else, or is it going quiet?
That's all you hear. So what would you like to do?
I think maybe just stand guard. How's the because we had this at the last time and the sort of B&B thing. What's the jump like for?
Out the window here. So you're on the second story,
Yeah.
so you're just going down the height of the 1 story. I can give you the view of the castle so you can see.
Okay, so it's not so bad, and it's
Yeah.
got like a sort
Yes.
of bit in it as
Yeah, there's
well. So
a
it's
veranda bit that goes right around it. You could jump out onto,
yeah,
and then you could droopy
yeah,
down that. It's not that higher, that height.
yeah.
I suppose unless anyone feels strongly about wanting to go out and investigate that, probably all we really can do is just to wait for now.
Yeah, I think it's a waiting game.
There's a thump, 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 as if someone's running downstairs.
Okay. The fact that we can hear them means that they're not concerned with being heard or waking the neighbors.
Does the sound seem to be getting closer to where we are, or is it just going past?
No, it's like someone kind of just like ran across part of the castle. Like ran across a room, ran down a corridor, something like that.
I don't know if we want to peek out since we're kind of barricading our door. I really don't know what's going on.
I suppose we could try looking outside again, just in case there's anything's changed.
Outdoors.
Yeah.
Okay, you look out, Finley, and you definitely see a figure run off into the shrubbery of the gardens.
What is with these islands, with these island folk, with their running around in the rain? It's like, oh goodness.
Exactly. I mean, you don't know what the figure was exactly, but it didn't look like anybody. It wasn't dressed like anybody you've seen so far. It didn't really look like it was wearing clothes. But then
Oh,
it
it's
could.
not going to be the fish people again.
But then it couldn't
Oh.
have been bearskin because it didn't look like a fully, naked person.
And we still haven't seen that one guy that gave us the car while he was looking for his friend.
Correct.
Can we...
Sorry, there you go.
Sorry. I was just going to say, can we see where the car is from where we are, as a matter of curiosity?
Yes, because you can see the service entrance, so you can see the car that brought you up. And I didn't mention it earlier, but there's a second car that's exactly the same. They would have been parked in the same kind of area. Those are the only two cars on the island.
I'm thinking worst case scenario, we start if we'd be able to start the car fairly quickly, then we should probably use that to make a break for the boat.
It's a creak in the hall, and then a knock, knock, knock on the door.
Okay, yeah. Now Kian's cocked his gun.
Whose room is this supposed to be?
I think Finley, because Mildred said her and I both made our rooms
So you
look like
hear Mrs. McCrown's voice say, "Mr. Young? Mr. Young? Knock, knock, knock."
Mrs. McCrin, is everything all right?
Mr. Young, I'm kind of concerned. I haven't seen Mr. Brody, and I think we just had an intruder.
Oh, I see. Is there anything I can do?
Well, if you don't mind, Mr. Young, perhaps you could wake up your friend, Mr. Doyle, was it? The Irish lad?
Of course. If
you wouldn't mind looking around, I'm just frightened someone's broken in.
Of course, if you bear with me for a minute or two, I'm not decent, but I'll bring him down as soon as I can. Thank you.
Of course, thank you, Mr. Young.
Can we hear any movement outside of, like Mrs. McCrin going away or anything?
You hear like a little creak in the floorboard, yeah.
So what's the script? What are we doing?
Hmm. It sounds like potentially they. I don't think they're all in on it. If there's something going on, I think. Hmm.
She
Difficult to
could
say.
be bait, I think.
That is a possibility.
So, I'm assuming you're throwing your clothes on.
Again,
Like,
so
we were all dressed, as in we weren't, because
Right,
we know
okay.
from last time, so.
Well, putting your boots on then.
I mean, yeah, it's not like Kian has a set of pajamas or nothing.
and it's possible that they might be trying to split us up in this case, but
I think maybe the three of us go down if we're going to go. I think
yeah,
two's
I
just
mean,
not.
we could say that you heard the noise and wondered what was going on, so that seems not unreasonable.
Okay, so move
We
the
take our
couch.
guns.
Move the
Yeah.
couch, grab your guns, step out the room. Mrs. McCrimmon standing there, like rollers in her hair. She's got like this big nightie with this big house coat pulled over it and a big pair of slippers. She's obviously just came out of her bed. And you just she looks at you weirdly that you're all in the same room.
God dang it.
But she doesn't say anything because she's more concerned about dealing with the immediate situation. Oh, thank goodness. I think it came from the basement, and then someone was downstairs. Certainly, I heard them from my room.
And she's not like holding anything or.
No. She's
Okay.
like, I know it's not Charlie. He wouldn't come in here at this time of night. He stays in one of the cottages.
Has there been any sign of Mr. Brody? Did he return that time?
No, I waited for him in the kitchen for a few hours and he hadn't came in. I assumed that he'd maybe stayed out in one of the cottages with Duke.
But they couldn't find Duke.
Well, that's and now I'm doubly worried.
Did you lock the basement door?
I think it's locked. It's the basement's fairly large.
Could you go and see if it's locked?
Yes, of course, but she kind of waits for someone to go with her.
Oh, I suppose. I was going to say we'll all go with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you takes around the corridor stuff down to the servants' entrance. You go down the stairway. There's a cellar door, and the door is open. It's like wide open. The door's open. There is black soot footprints going up the stairs as you descend.
Going up the stairs, like from where we were?
Coming up from the basement.
Oh, okay.
The users are going down the stairs to the basement. The footprints are going upstairs. She notices this too, of course. Did they break in through the cellar somehow? Oh, Mr. Young, I can't go in there. Please, I can't go there myself.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll all go and have a look and see.
Well, Mildred, you have the flashlight. Mildred.
Oh, okay. I'll hand it to Finlay since he seems to.
God dang it.
You're very much playing the damsel in distress in all of this.
I think, my character, she's quite small, she's kind of, she's just lost her husband,
Finlay,
like,
so
not too long ago.
you find Mildred shoving the flashlight into your hand.
Kid has like fucking Vietnam flashbacks to him and Paul in the vaults tried to talk Mildred into not going in, and then tried to talk her into, like, shut up, you dragged us in here, let's go.
Are you bringing Bruce down with you?
Fuck yeah, he is.
Bruce is sniffing the footprint stuff, but he's not barking.
Okay. Well, at least he's got the scent. Also, the footprints, are they, like, I'm assuming human, bear, or boots?
Barefoot human.
Oh god, that's worse. Okay, alright.
So you going in first, Finley?
Oh well, I'll make the best of it.
I guess.
I'll go. I'll go first cautiously.
Sure. So you look in, you can see stacks of wine racks on one side. The basement's not as big as the building above it. It's not as long. It's not as nearly as wide. You can see there's sort of three sections to it. One section is all sort of wine racks. One section is just general storage. There's like building materials and whatnot just sort of piled up and laid there. Not very neat at all. Some outdoorsy stuff. And then there's just like big piles of coal. And above that you can see the metal chute leading to outside, and you can hear the rain sort of running along the metal and then dripping down onto the coal below it. Do you want to give me a 2 dice roll for spot hidden? I meant Finley.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, when you flash the flashlight at the coal and the chute, Finley, you can see like handprints where someone has clearly came down the chute and then landed in the coal.
Is the coal chute often left open at this kind of time, Mrs. McCrin?
She just shakes her head like no.
Well, perhaps we shut it so that, I think we should close it.
Are we able to close it from this side, or would we need to go outside to do
Yeah,
that?
Mrs. Crown gets there's like a rod you can get, and she reaches up with it and hooks the latch and then pulls it shut. You need to lock it from outside, of course, but you can pull it shut from inside.
How well lit is the basement? Can we...
It's just your flashlight.
Right.
The rest of the house has electrical lighting, but down here there isn't.
Is there only one other way in and out of the basement? Is this the only way to access it?
She nods, yes. This normally you would just come down the stairs like this. There's no other way down here.
Okay, well, they clearly entered from the chute, and I mean, it doesn't look like there's anything in here.
Considering that we saw the footprints heading upstairs, perhaps it's reasonable to assume that they're already elsewhere in the house.
Well, we can always follow the footprints.
Sure. So you follow the footprints up the stairs, you can go down the corridor, but because the corridor's carpeted, after a certain distance, the soot's all sort of rubbed off the footprints and they disappear. You can see that the front doors to the building are left wide open.
I think we should probably close... No, I don't know, do we want to close the doors?
Yeah, I suppose that seems like a
So
good
Mr.
idea.
McCrennan goes and fetches her keys and then closes and locks the front doors. So I don't usually lock them, and there's no one on the island. There's no need to.
Of course, that's perfectly reasonable. Can we see which direction the footprints are headed in when they stop?
down corridor towards front door.
Right, does it... so it looks like the footprints were heading out through the door?
Yes, that's
Okay.
that's logical assumption.
Yeah. The doors were already shut, right?
She lock the what's called the basement door.
You can ask her to.
Can you lock the basement door?
Yes, of course, of course. She goes back down there, locks basement door, comes back up. Keen, your dog is like trying to get your attention. He's not barking, but you know, he's clearly like found something at the corner of the hallway by where the carpet sort of stops and the wall starts.
Okay, I'll definitely take a look at that. Whatever he's trying to sniff at.
You lean down and there's a small silver ring.
Oh, fuck.
No way.
Oh, no, 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 no. Is it the same silver ring as the fucking portrait?
It would appear to be yes.
Oh, no!
Oh no, this is not good.
I mean, you know, what are the chances that it's actually the Reverend Thomas? I mean, clearly he died 10 years ago. Okay, so the ring was like kind of over like on the ground by the wall.
Yeah.
Can I use some persuasion for Asin to, to try and dig out the truth from the...
Right. Well, hang on to let Keen do his thing first. Yeah, yes. So, I mean, it could have been there for a while, or whoever was running around might have dropped it. But your dog had clearly had the scent, which allowed it to locate the ring.
Right, so that means... Oh man, okay.
And Mildred, you want to ask her what?
Just want to ask her if she knows that of any strange going ons, as in why has this happened before, sort of thing.
Okay, roll your 2 dice. You have persuasion, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I keep saying people can't stay here, and it's true. Some of them have left. I know some of them have left. I've seen them get on the ferry with their belongings and they're gone. But there's been a lot more people who we think have left. I don't know how exactly they would get off the island. There's one ferry that comes. It only comes like 2-3 times a week, and if they're not on that ferry, then I'm not sure how they get off. Now they might have a friend with a boat, but there's been a lot of people that have gone missing.
To ask her about the cultists.
Cultists? I don't follow. I don't know what you mean by cultists. We don't have a church or a religion. There was only the 4 of us on the island. We don't have like a religion. I mean, we have religion. I mean, we're all good Christians, but no, I don't know. We don't have like a cult.
Did you see Reverend Michael Thomas die? Did you see his body?
Well, no, I didn't see him die. His body's interred in the mausoleum.
How do you know that's his body?
I guess I don't.
what about George?
The lordship? You can stop rolling dice.
Oh, okay.
The lordship? What about him? What's he got to do with this?
Did he know of the Michael Thomas?
I don't think George's ever met Michael. No, when Michael came to stay here, the lordship wasn't here. Michael, as far as I know, was his father's friend or associate.
Is there anything anyone else wants to ask Mrs. McCrimmon?
I don't really have anything to ask her.
How about this Isaac Hart? What's his story?
Mr. Hart, he's from Dumfries. He's a groundskeeper. Not a very good one, but yeah. Like, he should be staying out in one of the cottages with Charlie.
Do you think he'll still be there?
I would think so. Why wouldn't he be? You don't think he had anything to do with this, did you?
Well, it was just that we saw him lurking around the corridors earlier on tonight, so yeah.
Oh my god, oh my lord. They've let a criminal into our home. So we just went to now.
I am like trying to be like go detective mode, trying to figure out these clues, but I keep forgetting that Kian's an idiot.
I mean, it doesn't mean he's like, if you can put it together, he can put it together. It's not.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You
But
don't have to be-
honestly, I'm struggling.
Well, then you're about right, aren't you?
Oh yeah, no, you've completely fucked me over with this ring.
I feel like I want to go to the boat, but I feel like there's just so much with the boat, and I feel as if like he probably has something to do with the fish people as well. So I feel as if we went to the boat at this time of night, we would be like attacked by the fish people again.
She's saying this, and McCrown's looking at her like, what? Keen's like, fish people?
Perhaps if we should just stay together and wait for the first light, we could try and find Mr. Ward and Mr. Ward and Charlie, and then perhaps all together we could have another look in daylight.
Mrs. McCarran, have you got a shotgun or any sort of? Is there an artillery room?
There's a gun room, yes, for when they go hunting, yes. It's filled with rifles and shotguns.
I advise you to like.
I've never shot one of the bloody things in my life.
You're going to learn now.
Oh my, oh god.
I think we should go to the artillery room.
It's not an artillery room.
It's not
at the very least.
There you go.
Sorry. I was just going to say, no, that seems a sensible suggestion. If there is someone in the grounds, they might try to use a weapon to get an advantage against us.
Sure, okay. So she can take you to the gun room, she has to unlock it, and it is like triple locks on it. And then there's gun cabinets inside it as well that she has to unlock, but you can see there's rifles and there's shotguns, plenty of ammo laid out, as well as all the gear they would wear when they go and hunt, the overalls and whatnot.
I think we need to put like the overalls and stuff like that on as well. You know.
Is there any sign of the room having been disturbed? There's no sign of anyone
No.
having been in here.
No,
Okay.
no. Nobody's been in here.
So the footprints. Okay, there's clearly some tracks that led to believe that the intruder went into the chute, and then up the basement stairs,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just went straight towards the front door.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say as well, see the rifles and stuff in the artillery room, are they better than, the supposed guns that our characters are supposed to have?
The shady, dodgy second-hand sawn-offs you have. Yeah, I mean, you could try to fire that and it might backfire on you and not be very pleasant. Presumably, these guns are more well kept.
Yeah. Mrs. McCrimmon, if you wouldn't mind, could we each have a rifle each?
If it's in need of security, yes, I think that's perfectly fine just now.
Yes, for
Yes,
security reasons.
I think that's fine. Should we go find Mr. Brody? I'm terribly worried something's happened to him now.
I feel that we should just make sure that we're all suited up and just for security reasons and just stick together.
Do you know where Mr. Brody might go at a time like this?
I mean, he has a cottage just at the bottom of the gardens. But I mean, I checked earlier and he hadn't been home.
So we each take like a box of ammo and a rifle just to say.
Yes, you got the guns, I get it.
Okay.
Do you want to wait till morning or do you want to go out now?
What time of night is it? Is it still about 1 o'clock?
Yeah, it's still between 1 and 2 in the morning.
I suppose if the cottage is just very close at hand, I suppose we could go down there and have a look and just come back. I don't think there's much sense in trying to search the island in the dark, but we could at least visit the cottage.
I think we all go together, like all four of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so the four of you venture outside. Like I said, it's raining, ground's a little wet, but it's gravel. There's a soft like crunch of the gravel as you go along the back garden, which is all dark. It's not very well lit. Obviously, because it's raining, it's clouding over. The moon is still poking through the clouds, giving you just a little bit of moonlight to push your flashlight. And you find his cottage, very basic, square, kind of Highland cottage at the bottom of the garden. The door's been closed over. Mrs. McCown opens it, and she says, "Well, I wouldn't expect it to be locked." And she opens the door up and looks inside. And she shouts, "Jack? Jack, are you in there?" There's no answer. What'd you do?
Well, maybe we just all walk around the sides as in the window just to see if he's in there.
Why don't you all roll a spot hidden and it'll be.
I feel that we're leading up to the last 10 minutes of something bad.
Yeah.
It's just inevitable. Especially when it's almost 1 o'clock, so yeah.
Yeah, I just keep on like, why would the intruder bust up into the castle just to immediately leave the castle?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, I feel as if we're just walking out to
I,
be
I think
targets.
I think we just got trapped. But I can't be certain. It's probably just the paranoia.
I just don't want there to be fish people.
Great, that's when he busts out the bug people.
That was traumatizing the last time. It was quite scary.
Okay, what we got? 2 5s. Yeah, Keen and Mildred, as you kind of go around opposite ends of the cottage, you both find some bare footprints in the mud, as if they were coming from both to and from the direction of the castle. And they held out,
Some
going kind of southwest, which if you went in a straight line would take you to Harris.
well, it looks like it's taking us to Harris. Those footprints.
Fuck's sakes. Oh my god.
So what do you want to do, guys? Are we gonna go forward, or are we going back to the castle again?
I think we should go back to the castle and wait for daylight, personally. I think, even if we're going to search around, searching in the dark, I think we'd have a hard time with it.
Yeah,
Do you
I
agree,
think
Keen?
Yeah, I think wait for daylight.
I think
I really want to pursue this, but yeah, more light would be better.
You two, Mildred, yeah.
yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
I think as well, maybe like just staying on the the ground floor as well. is
Okay, so you
probably
just go
best if-
back, you set up in one of the dining rooms or the sitting room. Get the fire started, keep the lights on, keeping watch with your shotguns the rest of the night until morning. When it comes to morning, the rain stops. Sun comes out. It's a little overcast, but it's a fairly pleasant looking day. Mr. McCrin, of course, has tried to get some sleep, and she comes in early in the morning with some tea and a light breakfast. But she's eager to find out what's happened. Do you think it's okay for me to go down and check on Charlie?
No, I think you should just stay until
But what if that
you
horrible
know.
Mr. Hart's done something to him?
Perhaps we should all go down together. We could look for Charlie first, then we could try and follow the footprints after that.
Yeah, I suppose that seems logical.
I mean, we could always split up.
It's not split up. Let's all go together.
In true Scooby-Doo fashion.
Me and Scooby will go look this way. Everybody else go that way.
I just realised you've got the dog as well, yeah.
So Mrs. McCrin, she'll stay behind in the castle just in case Jack shows up. In case it's all been for nothing, but she'll keep the doors locked, and she'll keep a lookout to make sure she doesn't let anyone in that she doesn't already recognise. So you leave the castle and you walk down the path to the two cottages where Hart and Lewis should be. And you've been indicated which one young Charlie stays in. So you walk up and you knock on the door. And you knock again. And you push the door a little bit and the door's open. What'd you do?
This is Charlie's house.
This is Charlie's house.
Yeah, Kian's gonna shout, call out for Charlie.
No answer.
Is there any sign of his things being disturbed? Is it just look as it should be?
So there's a small table, and it's been knocked over. The chair beside it's been knocked over, and the dishes that were on the table have been scattered on the floor.
I feel like we should take Mrs. McCrimmon and, like, you know, on the boat with us when we're going back, because I just think her staying by herself in the castle isn't going to be a good idea.
Yeah, sure, an emaciated woman in the vaults you don't want to save, but the old lady in the castle.
Do you want to knock on Mr. Hart's door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you knock on Isaac Hart's door. His door is locked, and no one answers.
Mr. Hart. Mr. Hart.
Peering in through the windows, knocking on the door, shouting his name. There's no reply.
Is there any spot hidden? Can I roll that?
Sure, roll 2 dice. You find a spare key underneath a rock near the door.
How convenient.
You probably find it just as you see like Kian like lift up his leg to kick the door down, and then oh, you've got the key. All right, we're good. I was literally about to say that.
So you can unlock the door and step inside. It's quite neat, quite sparse, well kept.
And we look at spot hidden again.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Anyone that wants to look can roll. That's a 5, that's a 4. Yeah, so you find... You can find like his papers, you know, that gives who his identification is. It looks quite recent. Finlay, you can tell that these papers aren't 100% genuine. You got a forgery's eye. You know what I mean? You don't know maybe who's done it. You may not maybe sure how recent they are, but you know, you can tell that these aren't 100% genuine.
Yes, I think this is fairly conclusive proof that Mr. Hart isn't who he says he is.
Cian, you find a photograph of a young boy and his parents, and they are standing on what you now recognise to be the beach at Harris, and you can recognise it because of that hill in the background.
No name or date on it?
No, nothing like that.
Do I see anything?
So Mildred, being obsessed with shotguns and guns that you have become, you notice that there is no weapon in this room.
There's no weapon in this room. There's no gun, but he's the groundsman. He would have a gun, so he must have it on him. So this is quite scary situation because we don't know who we're dealing with.
I think we can also assume that they're armed.
Okay, so
For these two cottages, was there any more of those barefoot footprints, or, I mean, you know, be difficult to tell, I suppose, but...
why don't you give me a 1 dice roll, because the dog is going to be helping you.
Can I also say, can we have a look at our boat just to make sure that it's still there? You know, I just kind of feel like...
The boat is still there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for a butt.
That's just thing.
Everyone's dead.
You look at the jetty and the boat is still there and it's still tied up. You're sniffing around with the dog. The dog has definitely got a scent. But you yourself don't see any tracks or whatnot. But I mean,
Okay.
There's no way the dog would not have a set.
Yeah, I suppose.
Should we follow Bruce and see where he takes us?
I mean, it's the best lead we got at the moment.
The best way
But
to
I'm
follow the
pretty
dog would
sure
obviously be.
we're going to Harris, so.
I mean, do you just want to take the car?
Yeah, I think we should probably take the car.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yep, so you just take the car, load it up, taking your guns, taking Bruce. Miss Buchanan still hasn't had anyone come back to the house yet. She's keeping the doors locked. And you just take the car and drive out to Harris. You don't see anybody on your way there. You pull up to Harris, it looks like it did yesterday. When you arrive.
Well, remember how I originally said that maybe Mildred's idea to open up the mausoleum was probably a bad idea? I think that sort of reason kind of flew out the window.
Yeah, I think probably all the bets are off now. Should we maybe just have a quick look at the hunting lodge first, in case there's been any movement there?
So the
Yeah, and
first thing you notice about Houghton Lodge was you definitely closed the doors when you left, and the doors are open.
Okay. Shotguns at the ready.
nice. What can we roll spot hidden?
Before you go in?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, there's some like muddy bare footprints going in and out of the house.
So guys, there's like muddy footprints going in and out of this house. So
Yeah, not too surprising. The one we're tracking leads to here.
Should we?
should we maybe throw something in first? Have we got anything that we can throw in?
Is there a pebble or something around outside? We could-
Yeah.
Oh, yes, was, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like.
Okay, you
let's
throw a pebble
something
in through the door, and you hear it clatter around the side.
No sound of any movement coming from
Nope.
inside?
Can we look at like the windows just to make sure there's?
Yep, you peering through the windows. You can see some stuff's been moved around in there since you went yesterday. Some of the chairs in different positions.
Yeah, Kian and Bruce are gonna step inside. Again, shotgun at the ready.
Bruce comes in, he starts sniffing around the floor. He like paddles around the room a little bit, and then he like goes back to the front door again.
Okay, so not there.
He wants to be let go. He's trying to like run away from you.
Oh, fuck that shit. No, boy.
Not in a scary way, but as if he's like on something.
No, yeah, I know. but yeah, Kian's not letting him off the leash, but he will like pick up the pace and be like, "Hey,
Okay.
hey guys, Bruce has got something,"
He'll
and
lead
try to
you-
run with him.
He leads you over to the mausoleum and
Gee,
starts barking at the Skofkas.
I still think that the holy water with the. Have we got the holy water there? Does anyone
Yes.
have their holy water?
Yeah, I think we would still have it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming
Yeah.
you're all carrying them still.
Yeah, I think possibly.
Should we try and open up the sarcophagus and have a look?
The one that Bruce is barking at, is that Thomas or John's? Because I remember John's had the bloody handprint.
It did. He's barking at Thomas.
Okay, so
Michael
that's the different one. Well, let's see if Thomas is in, I guess.
So, Cian, you are the strong one. Do you want to roll 2 dice? Yes, with some difficulty, and kind of looking at Mildred and Finlay halfway through and wondering why they're not helping, you manage to shift the top of the sarcophagus to one side and immediately hit with the smell of rotting corpses.
You say corpses plural.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm assuming that one of them is hopefully Reverend Thomas, right?
And
You can-
Brody
You can
as well.
you clearly see the body of young Charlie with his neck snapped, lying on top of another body which is badly decomposed, and what looks to be a whole bunch of bones and bits of clothing.
I fucking knew he was dead. He's the good one. He's the kid. I knew it.
Okay, well, I think maybe with the holy water on the one that's like bones, maybe
I mean, you could just sprinkle it over a lot of them if you want.
just a wee bit. But I don't want to use all of it.
Yeah, just put your finger over it and sprinkle like half of it over them. I mean, you've got a spare one as well, so.
I feel like we can, well, we have 4. I feel as if we can look at the what's called the other body and sprinkle over as
Could
well.
everyone roll intelligence for me? Because I think that discovered bodies is stressful.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Finlay, you're disgusted, you're fine. Cian, you're disgusted, but you're fine. Mildred, you're disgusted, but you just hold it together.
I'm not sure that being used to the sight of corpses mangled in such a way is a good sign, but hey, I'll take it.
Imagine part you're just thankful they're not like moving.
Yeah, no, it's like, oh, they're dead. Oh, okay, at least they're dead.
Yeah.
I'm guessing if you've been in the war, you've already seen some stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of the power of Christ compels you.
All right, well, there's that one. So Cian's gonna move over to the one with the bloody handprint.
Okay, roll 2 dice.
Well, he's gonna take a moment to look over at Finley and Mildred, and then just sort of wait.
Yeah, I was going to say, can I help this time?
You
That would be
can, but you're
appreciated.
weak. Yeah, Cian, if you roll 2 for me, I'll just add 1. Oh, that's fine. You heave it, and although Finlay helps, you kind of feel like he didn't make a difference. As you just slide the thing across, and immediately you can see the body of Jack Brody. He's had like his lower jaw ripped off, and his eyes perforated. The body of another man sort of lying across on top of him, and again, piles of bones under them and clothing.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, well, I'm assuming the other man is probably Juke,
Seems likely, yeah.
Yeah.
because I don't think we ever met Juke, right?
Correct.
I'm guessing by sheer, law of deduction that it must be Hart that we're contending with.
You hear a gunshot go off in the distance.
Oh my goodness,
Along the shore.
Mrs. McCrimmon.
It's not from that direction, it's along the shore. Towards the hill, but maybe more to the coast.
Anything that we can see from that direction, or
If you run down to the beach, maybe?
Oh, I don't know if I run down to the beach.
Maybe,
funny when the bodies start piling up, that's when she starts to get a little bit more cautious.
Of course, Bruce starts barking and running towards the sounds because you were pushing the thing open.
Oh, fuck! Well, after the dog!
yeah, I suppose it's all we can do.
Fucking hell. Damn it, I knew it.
You run down to the beach around the side of Ardmeal, the hill. And lo and behold, there is a cave entrance on the beach. On the
Oh,
bottom of
I'm
the
not
hill.
going in there. I'm not going in there. I don't think we
And
should go
let me
there.
fucking guess, the dog ran in.
The dog runs up, is barking, and Mr. Hart is standing at the entrance with his shotgun aimed into the cave. When the dog comes running up, he like tries to shush the dog, but he's not wanting to take his eye off whatever he's aiming at in the cave. And then he sees you guys
Right.
coming, and he looks for a moment as if he doesn't know what to do. So we just
Right, well, Kian will immediately point his gun at Mr. Hart and wonder what the fuck is going on.
he's not aiming at you, he's aiming into the cave, and he sees you aim at him. Why are you pointing that thing at me?
What are you doing out here? Why were you snooping around the castle last night?
We heard a shot.
What? Yeah, what are you shooting at?
And with feet.
The thing,
Like,
the
no
fucking,
shoes.
the fucking thing, it's in that fucking cave.
Real quick, Hart's wearing shoes or no?
He's wearing boots, yes.
Okay, that's a bad sign.
Like, I don't know why yous are here, really. I know you're not working for some fucking lord somewhere. But this isn't the time to be pointing guns at each other.
Right, well, maybe step away from the cave and then we can have a talk.
Fine, but watch the entrance, don't let it get out.
Right, and then Kian will grab a hold of Bruce's leash and wrap it around his arm this time and walk over with the rest.
So the guy like lowers his shotgun and like holds it out, so he's obviously not threatening with it. And has his hands like spread out. Like yeah, don't aim that bloody thing at me, Jesus Christ.
There's a lot of fucking shit's happened, right?
Yes, I would fucking say so.
Although since Hart's mentioned the thing in the cave, Kian is watching it as well, but is also trying to keep an eye on Hart. So
So you have to wade like ankle deep in the sea here because the tide's coming in a little bit and it's lapping. But yeah, so we just went down.
Not going to the cave, that's for sure.
all right, so
I feel like one of us should have like our shotgun out, and like the other two should have the holy water.
oh, at least you're volunteering for something, right?
Sure.
Holy water or shotgun? Which one are you volunteering for? Shotgun or holy water?
No, maybe we should have both.
Sure,
This sounds
yeah.
like a grand idea. Let's just keep all our shotguns out, and then maybe. Kian's definitely going to talk with Mr. Hart of like, what thing in the cave, what happened last night, blah, 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 blah. We know you're not Mr. Hart.
Oh, investigators are you then? No, I'm not Mr. Hart.
Can I use my persuasion to try and get him to come back to the castle?
Is that what you want to do? Go back to the castle?
I feel as if it's the logical thing to do. To get it sorted, to have a chat with him. What do you guys think?
Well, I suppose the problem is if we come away from here, does whatever's in there come after us?
Yeah, that's my concern too.
Yeah.
We just heard him shoot at it, so.
Like I'm from here. I grew up here in Harris with my parents. This thing I think is killed not just my parents, but a whole fucking lot of people in this island. Now I think I shot it. I think I clipped its shoulder, but it's fast. Or he's fast. I'm pretty sure it's a man of some sort. If you can call someone that does things like this a man.
Okay, well.
See for the spot hidden, even though like we're like outside the cave, like we're like far outside the cave, can we still notice anything?
Why didn't you give me the roll then, 2 dice?
I'll give you a roll too, because I said Kian was watching.
I mean, you're trying to like keep an eye on him, keep an eye on the
Yeah,
cave,
I'm trying to keep an eye on in both directions, so it's
watching the dog, make sure it doesn't run away, make sure Mildred doesn't accidentally blow your head off.
yeah, it's a lot to keep track of.
So
Mildred,
what I
sort of peering what you can see into the cave from the daylight from the outside. It looks as if there's a bunch of like eating fish in there. You can see signs of something is like set up a fire in there at some point because you can see the remains of it. There's like charcoal and bits of coal, bits of burnt wood, and there's sort of burn marks against the side of the cave entrance.
So there's a bit of burn marks, and someone looks as if they've been living in the cave.
Do we know if there's another way out of the cave?
Yous wouldn't know that.
I mean, can we ask Mr. Hart if he knows if there's another way out of the cave?
Robert. My name's Robert. No, I don't think there's another entrance to this cave. When we were kids, we were not allowed to play in the caves because, you know, they're dangerous. But we would explore them sometimes, and no, I don't think there's another entrance to this one. This one just goes under the hill here and down.
I was going to say, I think Finlay should, you know, you've got the flashlight, maybe flash it over.
I'll certainly try and shine it in the direction of the cave, sure.
Yeah, you can see it goes in the water, and then there's like a mound of rock which rises above the water, and then beyond that it looks as if there's like a split, a sort of diagonal split in the earth and the rock, which goes deeper in. So what would you like to do?
Alright, so you didn't kill all those people.
No, of course I didn't kill them. Jesus Christ, man.
Feel like we have his ring, and maybe his ring is quite significant to him. Who picked up his ring?
Me?
Okay, so
Go on, volunteer me for something. I dare ya. I
was just going to say, like, kind of like my precious, isn't it, with the ring?
Yeah, we'll just tie a rope around Kian and send him in with the ring, and then if we feel it tug, then we'll pull it back out. Totally. I know your tricks.
Would it be worth looking back at the car to see if there's any spare petrol? We could try, if we could start a fire in the cave, we could try and force the thing out.
I was thinking that we could force the thing out with the stone. in the boat.
You mean the stone that we brought from the village?
Yes, I think that's her. I think that's her. Because it's got sort of some magical.
So you want to
I
start
feel
using evil magic?
I feel like it's it. I feel as if he might come out of the cave if that's the case.
So Finlay, I mean, do you remember seeing a canister of fuel in the back of the car?
Well, I suppose if it's it's a fairly rural place, and I imagine it would be difficult for them to get petrol just from other locations. So I think it would be reasonable that they might have a petrol
Sure.
can. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so they've got a small petrol can. I mean, it's maybe a couple of litres. It's not a lot, but I mean, it's a small island anyway. But yes, you would have seen that at the back of the car.
I think we should try to smoke him out before we try the stone. I think with the stone, we're very much interfering in things we don't fully understand, but at least if we can try and exhaust all the other options first. Maybe if we try and gather some dry wood from the beach, throw it into the mouth of the cave and set it alight with the petrol, maybe we could try and force it out.
Sounds like a better plan than anything I could think of at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds decent.
Yeah, I think going in there is probably a death sentence.
Okay, so I mean, you can. The problem is there's no trees on the island. You'd have to go fetch, but you'd have to go fetch some fuel. Unless you want to just light the gasoline and just let that burn out.
Probably wouldn't burn for very long.
I mean, obviously, some of the cottages and the castle is stocked with fuel.
Well, is there not I've got some bandages in my
You do, yes.
bag.
Well,
So is that not can that not be used?
Come to think of it, I mean, I guess we're quite close to the hunting lodge. Would there be anything in there that we could use to start a blaze?
So you and Mildred want to run back to the lodge and have a look and get the petrol.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sounds good.
Yeah, so it's only 30 seconds. You run back there, you grab the petrol, you go into the hunting lodge. There's a bit by the fire where there should be fuel, like coal, wood, to keep the fire stocked in case someone's there, but there isn't any. Well, there's like a scrap of it. So it's been used or taken.
Is there anything else that looks like it would be burnable?
Why don't you roll
like-
2 dice for me, Finlay?
Sure.
You look at the table that's there, thinking maybe we could just chop this table up and use it. And you can see scratched into the table, not with a knife, something a lot less suited to scratching, but over a long period of time, someone has scratched in the words "no light." And there's like dried, possibly blood, around where it's been scratched in.
Is Mildred with me in the lodge at this point?
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you make of this, Mildred? Do you think that this is a sign that we should avoid using light, or do you think this is a sign that we should?
I'm feeling like because he kind of comes out, doesn't he? And this our dream thing, it was all sort of dark, wasn't it? I feel as if with the no light thing, it I think that's maybe that's what the monster has written because he doesn't like the light. And that's why he's in the cave dwelling, and
Yeah,
he's not in the house, so...
that's true. I mean, it stands to reason that I suppose if he's trying to avoid the light, he would go into the cave.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if we try and break up as much as the table as we can, and we can take that for fuel.
Sure. You smack the table a couple of times, quickly realise it's easier to break some of the chairs, and you smash a couple of the chairs up and gather the pieces. You can, of course, use like the bandages for kindling.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe like 5-10 minutes, they come back in with all these bits of wood. But this time you and the man you knew as Hart, now Robert, have been standing there. Do you say anything to him for those 5 minutes?
No, not really. Just definitely trying to keep aware of my surroundings and in case of anything that he might do, anything that might come from the cave. I'm very, very on guard.
Do you have your gun aimed on him, or are you just aiming it into the cave like he had?
It's more. It's not really aimed at anything. It's definitely in my hands, ready to like just quickly. So I'm not. It's at rest. I'm just not aiming at anything.
Sure. So he's kind of in the same sort of stance, although veering more towards the cave. And he will try to talk to you at that time. So, are you the investigators? Yeah. Are you with the police?
No. I honestly don't even know. All of this just happened to me. I don't understand anything that's going on.
You just happened to come here with guns, looking for this thing.
Yeah. As crazy as it sounds, I just happened to have some people run into me asking me for help, and now I'm here instead of replastering a feckin' church wall.
Oh, buddy, you really got drawn into it.
Oh, gee, you think?
I've been here for months trying to fucking uncover this thing. I don't know what he's did, but you certainly caused it to flare up again when you arrived.
Wait, you've known about this thing for months?
I knew something was going on here. I didn't know what it was or where it's hiding out. I mean, it's not a large island, but it's difficult when there's people around to not draw attention. But when the boy went missing this morning, I knew he'd be taken. I came here because I knew it was around here somewhere. This hill is something about it. And then I saw the smears, the blood at the mausoleum, and the bodies. And then it was standing there up on the hill, so I chased it. And then I heard your car. And then while I was distracted, it tried to make a go at me out of the cave, and I shot at it.
Can you still see it?
Well, no, it's in there somewhere.
How big is the cave?
It's not very big. I mean, 15, 20 feet across, maybe. About that much high at the peak. But beyond the crack there at the back, I mean, I've no idea. I've never gone down there.
So it's a cave, but the crack leads into a much larger, or potentially much larger area.
Mm-hmm.
Deeper beneath the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Do we still feel heavy?
Yes.
That gravitational pull?
Yes.
But is it pointing still kind of towards... Okay.
Very
Does
much towards
it just points towards the hill, not necessarily any point like at the top or at the bottom here. It just points in that direction.
Yes, it's just a pull. The gravitational pull is just heavier here. You can even see the water acting a little differently. Like, you know, it kind of slows down when it's coming in, the wave.
Okay. Cool.
So what do you want to do now? They come back with the wood.
Well, whatever you're planning on doing to smoke the monster out, let's do it.
I think it sounds like we're probably going to have to try and get anything that we put down there into the larger part of the cave.
So who's going to go ahead and do that?
Oh, don't everybody raise your hand at once.
Oh, for Christ's sake, I'll do it, says Robert.
Oh, good, fine.
Okay, I'll come with you.
He puts the shotgun like over the strap over his shoulder, takes some of the wood off you. We need some. Just pouring that over the wood's not going to be good enough. You got some sort of kindling.
And use the bandages that we've got from the first aid kit.
So it like wraps some bandage around the end of it, douses some petrol over it, lights it with his own lighter. So it's kind of like a torch. What was your name again? Finn?
Just call me Finn, that's fine.
Alright, right. Okay, Finn. Just be ready for anything here. You go into the cave. And you two brave souls are standing out at the entrance, yes?
Yes.
I really want to go in, but I also really, really don't.
Yeah.
You and Robert go in, Finlay. The cave inside smells of death. You can see like blood spatters dried into the far wall around the crack, and the handprint bloody and sooted against where it's like held itself as it goes in. You can see multiple fires have been lit here at different points and times. And you can see like pieces of clothing and bits of jewellery scattered around as you go into the crack itself. You can hear a shivering, cowering person. The inside the crack isn't as deep or as big as you thought it would be. It's just like a small passage into like a small cul-de-sac. And this naked figure is curled up in the corner. His skin looks burnt and blistering. Some of it almost looks like charcoal. And there's scratches and gashes and cuts all over him. His skin is like pussy and boiled and bloody. He's completely hairless. When you shine a light on him, he curls back what's left of his lips, and you can just see his like bare yellow teeth as he like snarls and hisses at you. It's like, no light, no light.
Who are you? How do you come to be here?
Burns. Burns. Can't. Burns. Cuts. And then you can see he's got like a little razor blade in one of his fingers, and he's just like cutting the fingertips of his other hand. Not in a way that it looks like he's enjoying it, but as if he's almost unable to control the urge.
I think from what we've seen so far, it seems very possible that this is what remains of Michael Thomas.
And Robert says, who? You're saying this is a man? You know this man?
Not personally, but he seems to have had some kind of connection to the previous lord of the manor.
You know those books in his library? Those aren't the books of a normal man. I knew he was up to some sort of witchcraft, but this is hideous.
There's something much more sinister at work here than just simple witchcraft or devil worship. I think there's something much larger taking place.
So what do you want to do? Should we just shoot him? Should we take him to the mainland?
He still seems to be conscious, at least. One thing we did bring with us was holy water from the church. We could see how he reacts to that, I suppose, but I don't know.
Well, you could throw water on him if you want, and he drops his torch and levels the gun at him. It's like, but if he moves, I'm going to fucking shoot him.
I think that's probably for the best.
You want to take out the holy water and sprinkle him with it?
I'll try the sprinkling with some of the holy water, yeah.
So you take out the holy water, unscrew at the top, or pop the cork off, whatever it is, and then you just splash it at him.
Yeah, I think I'll probably try and make the sign of the cross while I'm doing it, in the vague hope of, showing some good faith towards him.
Sure. Steal your faith. Throw the water on him. He reflexively kind of recoils away at first, and then the water just kind of splashes on him. And he's hissing at you, but he was hissing at you anyway. He's looking more at the torch, and he's like, burns, no light. Burns. And he reaches for the torch, and inhumanely grabs the head of the burning torch with his skin hand, and lets out a shriek of agony, but he still holds on to the flame.
Is he, trying to extinguish it?
No, he's just burning his hand. Burns! And you guys outside the cave can hear this yell of agony.
Fuck it, I'll use that as an excuse. Kian will go inside the cave.
So you go in, you can see the torchlight. You can see the burnt patches where fires have been lit. You can see the spatter of blood and the handprints. You creep into the crevice. And when you can just make out the two of them and the figure beyond, the torch on the ground. He's still holding onto the flame, burning his hand and his arm, and just screaming as you would with an open flame.
Okay, so we're not shooting this thing, this man.
So Robert's like, what the fuck do we do? Can we tie him up? I think we need to take him to the police.
I don't know if the police can help him.
You're not there, Mildred, unless you want to go into the cave and follow them.
No,
Then you're just standing outside, listening to the screaming.
Yeah, probably gave her Bruce's leash.
The dog is like barking excitedly outside.
Do we have something that we could use to secure him with? Do we have something to tie him up with?
I don't have anything here, Finn, but there'll definitely be something back at the castle or in one of the cottages.
If you're comfortable to keep the gun on him in the meantime, I could go back for it, but...
I'm only going to be comfortable keeping the gun on him.
Sure. Okay, well, I'll go back and try and get something in that case.
Yeah, Kian just stands there with his gun on him as well while watching this guy.
I'm just gonna go with Finlay to the castle.
So when Finlay comes out, you're going to go with him
Yeah.
Oh shit.
and leave Keen there with this guy. And
Yes.
Don't lose my fucking dog.
I mean, the dog doesn't want to go with you, Mildred. It wants to go where Keen went.
Oh fuck, fair enough.
Yeah, but I just lift it up and just take it.
Alright, so it barks and wriggles around a lot, but you forcibly take the dog with you. You just go back to the castle. Keen, you're there with Robert, and this thing is it stops screaming now because the flame is going out just from it grabbing it. So, or the fuel's burnt out. And the thing is like nursing its burnt hand, and it's gone back to just like cutting its arm with the razor blade.
All right. Well, now that Kian is now aware of this, yeah, Kian's going to think back to the torn journal entry, and is just trying to is maybe putting the pieces together. He starts to like look at Robert, and I guess look at the thing. What are the 6?
Robert's like, what do you mean the 6?
There was a note. 6 now so far. Maybe it will be enough. I think he was the one who wrote that. No power, just pain.
It looks up to you when you see that. Pain, no power.
What does that mean?
Opens its mouth, sticks its tongue out, and just cuts it with the razor, and goes, pain! Six. Hungry, not enough. Feed. Must feed it.
What do you need to feed?
Cowers down as if something might hear it, and like points upwards. Darkness.
You have to feed the darkness?
Nods its head.
And the 6 are people.
Nods its head, and it almost looks as if it's trying to cry, but it just doesn't have the capability anymore.
It must have control to feed. What does that mean?
Pain, burning.
Jesus Christ, I am sweating. Holy fuck.
It punches the cave wall once so hard you're sure you're going to hear a knuckle crack.
Okay. Trapped it, but can't stop cutting and burning. What's trapped?
Robert's like, what the fuck are you talking to about it, man?
I'm just fucking keep your gun on him. Just mind your business for a second.
Shut up, I'm working here.
Exactly, like, shut up a second. I've seen some shit, you shut up.
Points upwards again, and it whispers, trapped. I trapped it. And then it breathes in sharply, goes, pain! Headbutts the wall. Headbutts it again. You can see it bleeding from its forehead, and it starts stumbling. It's stunned.
I will say, throughout all this, Kian is keeping his distance and is keeping the gun on him.
Robert's like, Jesus Christ, man, it's fucking killing itself.
Just don't do anything. Just make sure it doesn't come at us.
You guys, do you hop in the car? You drive back to... Do you go all the way to the castle, or are you just going to the first cottage you come across?
I think we would probably just go to the first cottage.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be Robert's cottage anyway. You're inside, you look around. You were studying earlier, so you remember seeing some like string you could use, like thick string. You grab like a ball of that, You spy some rope, Finlay, and you grab some rope as well.
I think we probably try and wind the string around him first and then get the rope on him from there.
So you just grab that, jump in the car, and just head back, yeah.
Yeah.
But by the time you just come back, you can hear the thing screaming with pain before you even get to the cave. Keen, you've like watched this thing just torture itself. It seems to be getting more and more intense the longer you're sort of standing there. But the thing is, like, up against the wall, it won't come near you.
So that's fine. I'm not coming near it.
And then you guys come back with the rope. I assume Mildred just stands outside awkwardly again.
No, I'll come inside.
So you come in, Mildred, and you see this thing for the first time. And it's all bloody, its head's bleeding, and it looks as if it's like maybe cracked in front of its skull or something. There's blood, this spitting blood out of its mouth every now and again.
I think somebody needs to just, 2 people need to just grab it.
Which 2 people?
Well, I'm small. I have no strength. I don't see how I could grab it.
I'm just a girl.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying I'm just a girl. I don't have any strength.
Robert, with his gun trained on, is like, I'm not fucking touching that thing.
Ah, for fuck's sakes. I'll fucking grab it, but I'm asking it questions first.
Okay, so what do you want to ask it?
Says it trapped it. How failed bin days? How did you fail?
Fail.
Who are the 6?
Burn. Pain. It starts to like reach under its eyelids with its long fingernail and just like scrape its eyeball.
Is there any of the wood left, or have we used it all up?
Oh, you've got all the wood. You've used like 2 legs of a chair.
I think maybe if we light another piece of wood and give it that, then while it's occupied with that, we can try and tie it up.
Okay, sure. So you like wrap bands around it, douse it petrol, light it, the match, and then just toss it in towards it.
Yeah, try and throw it towards it.
It goes burn, and it just like lays the side of its head over the flame and starts to scream in agony. And then what do you do?
I think while it's preoccupied with that, if we try and like quickly wrap the string around it first and then get the heavier rope on it after
Okay, and by we mean you and Kian, yes.
that.
Yes,
I
yes.
guess.
Okay, so this is a dexterity roll. So for Keen, that's 2 dice,
Yeah, I got agile.
and for Finlay, it's 1 dice.
D6. Yeah.
1 dice for you, yes.
Okay.
Do you want to use luck? You would need at least a 4.
Very much so.
Please.
However many luck I need to use.
So you need to spend 2 luck, Keen, to get yours. Sorry, 1 luck to get yours to a 4, or if you want 3 luck if you want to take it up to a 6.
Fuck it, I'll take it up to 6.
Okay, so you'll be fit.
So
Finlay?
wait, how many luck for that?
3.
3, okay.
So you're taking a 3 up to a 6. Finlay, do you have 5 luck to take yours to a 6?
I don't think I have. Well, would I have 5? Well, yeah, because because I think I've recovered 1.
You recovered 1 earlier, yes.
Yeah. So I think I do actually, because I don't think I've used luck since the
So
first.
You could
game.
use 5 to bump it up to 6, or you could spend 3 and bump it up to a 4. Depends if you want a full or a partial success.
I think I'll just use 3 for now in case I need something for later.
Okay, so you lunge on it with the string and the rope. Keen, you get behind it, you manage to grab one of its arms and like pull it behind its back and start tying up quickly. Finley, you go down and you're getting trying to get the other arm. But the thing like swipes out at you, knocking the torch towards you and scalding your arm, take a pain. And then you manage to wrestle it to the ground, the two of you, and get it tied up.
I will take pretty banged up, take disadvantage next roll, so if...
Could I also have everyone roll intelligence? Because I think just watching this thing do its thing is disturbing.
Oh yeah, very fucking disturbing.
Keen's fine. Finley, you take a stress, because this coupled with what it's saying and what you've read and what you've experienced is just starting to get you.
Yeah, understandable.
And Mildred, you're fine. I mean, you're disturbed, but you're fine.
I'm tempted to say I would start to panic and try to run away.
Okay, so it burns you. You kind of pin it down, but then you look at the burn, the blistering on your arm, and you connect it with the blistering all over this thing's body. And the thought just becomes too much for you, and you find yourself running out of the cave. Robert's a bit panicked, and he's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
We're fucking tying it up. What does it look like we're doing?
He just fucking ran away. And he's like loading the shotgun.
Mildred, will you keep an eye on Finley? Make sure he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and look after him, see if he's okay.
Okay, so you just have it tied up. What do you want to do with it?
Well, to be honest, the guy that the people that kind of had this idea of tying it up and taking it out of here kind of just left. So
It will writhe around and struggle and resist. If you want to try and drag it out.
yeah, I'll drag it out.
Can you give me a fitness roll? I believe you have 2 days for that as well.
Yes, I am athletic.
Yes, you're able to drag him out. Filled with adrenaline yourself. It splashes in the water as you bring it out and it starts screaming, "Burn! Pain! No! No light! No light!" And Robert follows you with the gun, still trained on it. So he's all come out of the cave. What do you want to do?
Probably phone the police.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Are you taking the mainland? Are you going to lock it up somewhere and then go to the mainland? Like, what's the kind of longer term plan?
Is there no phone there?
There
'Cause
is a
obviously
telephone in
phones-
the castle, yes.
Yeah. I think
I mean-
it's probably best with the phone.
I mean, we know that Robert's cottage can be locked, so maybe we should try and lock it up there.
Okay, so you're going to lock up...
I feel as if like he might smash the window or something, you know?
Oh yeah, no, this guy, yeah, this is, yeah, that's not a proper prison for him.
Oh, definitely not. I think Robert's gonna have to just have the shotgun on him.
So...
Oh, perfect. Kian takes out the ring and shows it to the thing.
Yeah, that's probably a perfect moment, actually.
Stops writhing, stares at the ring, and then it... and you roll your dexterity.
Oh, fuck.
Do you have luck?
I have 5 points of luck left.
Do you want to spend luck?
I would like to spend luck.
Okay, so how much? Do you want 2 to bump it to a 4, or 4 to bump it to a 6?
Oh, fuck it. I'll do 2.
Okay, so it tries to snatch the ring out of your hand, your fingers, with his teeth, and bites down hard on your finger, causing you pain.
Okay, cool.
If you'd left that, you'd have bitten your finger off.
Yeah, no. So I take a pain.
Yes.
Fuck it, I'll just cry out loudly in pain. Drawing attention.
Robert shoves the barrel of his gun right against its head when it does this. Like, what the fuck do you think you're doing?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you know how many people this thing's killed? I think because we've gone on for so long, we'll end it there.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I'm in full detective mode. I'm like trying to solve this thing, but I have no idea.
Yeah,
Pulling every string.
yeah, I mean, we can have like a mini session next week and just go over the clues and stuff. You can call the cops on it and lock up and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
No downtime. Yes, so we'll stop there.
Cool.
Okay.
That was awesome.
Yeah.